July, I, like many anime fans, took a trip to Otakon, the unfortunately named anime convention that would drive anthropophobics into a suicidal panic attack. So, nifty little press pass in hand, I thought I'd share my experiences with all of you in a very special episode of Kuso. And luckily for you, I decided not to bring a microphone with me. Aren't you glad?
Here we are, Otakon. If you're wondering why I'm not completely wearing my trademark leather jacket, that's because it's Baltimore and it's hot as shit. Inside here is a clusterfuck of people in costumes, people not in costumes, people that just kind of painted their face and did their a little bit, and some people wearing I don't know what. So we're going to take a look inside and make total and complete asses out of ourselves. Should be fine, let's go!
When one steps into the hallowed halls of the Baltimore Convention Center, there's a few things that quickly enter your mind. 1. I was told there'd be a smell. It seems I have dodged a bullet. 2. There's a lot of fucking people in costumes, even for an anime convention. 3. Oh shit, I'm in Baltimore, aren't I? We better get the hell out of here before it gets too late and I get mugged on the way back to my car or hotel room. And 4. Why are there people dancing? Yes, it's an oddity of anime conventions. Motherfuckers just randomly dancing goofy dances to awful J-pop. Convention etiquette states that it's best to just move on and try not to make eye contact, which can be difficult if they're dancing to that godforsaken Haruhi Suzumiya song. But enough of that. Let's take a look at one of the most prominent parts of any anime convention. One of the biggest draws to any convention are the panels. Whether you come to hear your favorite voice actors or industry professionals talk about shit that's interesting, or you feel like wasting your precious time at pointless fan panels, there's always something to go sit in for at any anime con. Otakon in particular, due to its sheer size and prominence attracting a veritable who's who of guests. Hell, even Nobuo fucking Uematsu stopped by. And the fact that I didn't get a chance to go to that panel still makes me physically ill to this day. And if you did get to see him, fuck you, I hope you get gonorrhea! You know who I did get to see, despite the long line? Johnny Young Bosch.
So this is the line to see Johnny Young Bosch. As you can see, this is probably longer than the line to see the goddamn Pope. Infer from that what you will. Now we've basically been sitting here for the last 5 minutes shouting internet memes and commercial jingles. I don't know what that says about the anime fandom aside from the fact that they're on the internet and TV way too goddamn much. But I swear to God, if I hear one more internet meme or commercial jingle, this line's gonna get a lot shorter. I'm gonna try to soldier on, and we'll see what happens.
Bosch was a swell motherfucker. Funny, too, particularly when he decided to answer everyone's questions in song.
Like Bulk and Skull, you know, I know who they are. I worked with them for over 3 years.
I've heard elsewhere that he can be a little stuck up, but I didn't get that from him here. He seemed pretty personable, friendly, and funny. There were other panels I went to as well, including Patrick Seitz' panel, which had a respectable showing, but it's Patrick fucking Seitz. He's the Mac Daddy and deserves to fill the fucking Hey, Frankenfran cosplay. Sweet. Anyway, Seitz was a swell motherfucker, as per usual, and if he's ever making an appearance at a con near you, beat feet to his panel and tell him Shmeckie sent you. Don't worry if he says something like, ooh, Shmeckie. He and I are totally buds. There was also a Sunrise panel, piggybacking on the Tiger and Bunny panel. Pretty informative, though they didn't reveal any new titles that looked like they'd be a must-watch series. There was a goofy one about puzzles, though. Either way, it got pretty boring, and eventually I just started playing Airplane with my camera, taking footage of the ceiling. It made sense at the time. I couldn't get any footage from the Bandai panel because they are dicks, so here's some B-roll while I tell you about how it raped my soul. First of all, hooray for the large chunk of it dedicated to the fucking Haruhi Suzumiya movie. Oh yeah, no, I'm totally all over that. Let's do that. Haruhi Suzumiya for 2 fucking hours. That sounds like the best time ever. And hey, let's sit through a track from the movie soundtrack, being played in its entirety by the original composer. No, I don't care if it's a pretty violin piece. It was still a generic piece from the soundtrack of a movie of one of the worst franchises to hit anime ever. The composer apparently did the music from Soul Calibur, so play that shit instead. Fuck generic, sad violin song, play Raise Thy Sword, damn it. I don't care if you can't play that on a violin, make it happen anyway. Or shit, bust out the electric guitar and play If There Were Any Other Way. And don't get me started on the K-On! Bullshit. Hey, you know what sounds like a grand old time? Let's take one of those shitty J-pop but with electric guitars and drums so it's totally rock and roll no matter what anyone tells you, songs from the show, and have the voice actresses from the dub sing it 3 fucking times in a row! Then, just to make it all fucking dandier, let's get some schmuck from the audience to sing it for a 4th motherfucking time in a row. This is fun. Where is knife? Stabby, stabby, my own head. Make the noising songs, not sound make. Though hearing Crispin Freeman call Haruhi Suzumiya a total bitch almost made it all worth. Either way, between this and last year's crap, I'm not going to Bandai's panel anymore. Fuck those guys. Oh, one last thing. When they do Q&A at a panel, Q&A stands for questions and answers, not pitch your dumbass ideas for things to people who will promptly disregard them. Looking at you, dude from the Tiger and Bunny panel who decided to pitch his ideas for the show to the show's director. Also, it does not stand for ridiculously long, mildly creepy, overblown speeches.
A lot of us really want you all to know how much we love my anime, my anime, and all those kind of franchises. We really were hoping to have my movies or anything like that. We want to see the series get more popular because it tends to have just get thrown under the bus compared to other series, but it's so moving and it can really speak to a lot of us and a lot of us we're talking. We want to see more. We love it and we don't get enough. Just last night on hotel room I was watching Z-Way for the first time and I was in tears on the second episode of the stuff that happened. We want to see more. We want you all to know that there are my teammate, my anime fans out there, and we want to see this. We want to see more. We want to see the Blu-rays of the US. We want to see more figures coming out from Bandai across the states, and we want to just see it come on TV and all those kind of things. And we want you to love these things. Everything about it, the Shiznat, the Harukido, my Kokiha, and Hate, Gucci, all of it. We want more, and that's what I want to know. When should we get more, or at least the Blu-rays released?
More my
Ask question, get answer, sit the fuck down. Now let's get the fuck out of here and head on out to...
Behind me is the game room. For some reason, a whole lot of people will just go in there and never come back. Because I guess when you come to an anime convention, the first thing that comes to your mind is, let's just spend the whole time playing video games. I say this, and yet I've done it. But the real reason we're talking about it today, first of all, they've got a lot of obscure shit in there, which is cool. But the real reason we're here today, King of Fighters 13. Console version getting previewed today. And you may not know this about me, but I'm a huge SNK fan. So my opinions are pretty much going to be as objective as all the opinions from a writer from Family Guy. But we're going to go in there and check out King of Fighters 13, see if it's any good. And by that I mean pretty much confirm that it's any good and watch me make an ass out of myself, try not to hump the machine. Let's go.
Ah yes, the place where much time at Otakon has been wasted by yours truly. I probably spend more time in the game room than I do at the rest of the con. Being a fighting game addict, the allure of playing Street Fighter, BlazBlue, and yes, King of Fighters 13 with flesh and blood people is just too much to resist. The Otakon game room is typically loaded with games new and old, well known to obscure. From shmups to fighters to first-person shooters to racing games to dance machines where people in cheaply made costumes of characters they look nothing like can embarrass themselves further by having leg spasms and pretending that constitutes busting a move. But who gives a fuck about all that? We're here for one reason, and one reason only. Ladies and gentlemen, I love King of Fighters. It is my love, my muse, my flame. I was hooked back in '99 and I've owned every single game but 12 at one point or another. And to this day I own every title except 12 and 2000. Hell, I even know the series storyline and character backstories like the back of my hand. After being thoroughly disappointed by 12, I was overjoyed to find that 13 was, indeed, SNK's big, sexy apology. From the ridiculous amount of single-player content to absolutely flawless gameplay to an improved soundtrack, which will be getting a CD release along with the game itself, the playable demo of KOF 13 cemented, once and for all, that this game is the albatross hovering above every other game in this current generation of fighters. KOF is coming, boys, and it's gonna make every single one of you look like a bitch.
Check the arsenal, rupture, the main conductor, playing disruptor. I remember Ninja Guy.
In their infinite wisdom, however, the folks at Otakon decided not to include Mortal Kombat amongst all the other fighters in the game room. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did I say wisdom? Sorry, it's my mistake. See, I meant to say sheer faggotry. And don't give me this BS about it being violent. They could have easily walled that shit off or something. If the Artist Alley can have a fucking hentai art gallery, they can have fucking Mortal Kombat in the fucking game room. Unless Otakon's policy is that it's okay to tear teenage girls apart with tentacles, but you're not allowed to tear grown men apart with magic and weapons. Huh. Bullshit. Drop the hentai shit or give us MK9. I'd much rather play Mortal Kombat than look at cartoon porn surrounded by unwashed creepy fucks leering over that shit anyway. Fuck, now my KUF13 high has been thoroughly killed. Let's just move on. Oh yeah, what a surprise. We're discussing the cosplayers in a video covering an anime convention. Otakon attendees are fortunate in that being a large convention, they're more likely to see well-made costumes than the denizens of your average never-heard-of-it con. Though that's mostly due to the law of averages. Still, there's some quality material to be found, and as we all know, cosplay exists solely to get hot women into skimpy outfits, and there's plenty of that to be found. Of course, this can backfire, leaving many a male congoer with an image burned into their retinas that they will never unsee. And then you have the odd furry who seems to be confused as to which convention they're visiting. I'm often genuinely impressed by some of these costumes.
Awesome.
And genuinely repulsed by others. And then genuinely repulsed by some people's choice in costumes. Not much else to say there. Come for the hot chicks in skimpy costumes, stay for all the other convention attractions, including... Do you have money on you? Fuck no, not anymore you don't. Because you're in the dealer's room, where many an anime fan has walked away penniless with a boatload of swag. Generally consisting of things that they don't need that they just bankrupted themselves for. You can find many dealers peddling all sorts of wares. Many of them doing so sans dignity. I don't even fucking know. Any kind of merch you could possibly want is here. If you're looking for crappy replica weapons, they got it. Manga, they got fuck tons. Anime DVDs, even more fuck tons. Shirts, they got fucking shirts. Weird leather bondage stuff, for some reason they got that. Plushies, a metric fuck ton. You can even find manga endorsed by the Ku Klux Klan themselves. And if you've ever dreamed of purchasing a body pillow in full view of the public, now you can make those dreams come true. Those sad, pathetic, creepy dreams. Just don't be surprised if people like me judge the ever-loving fuck out of you. Because we will. Also, apparently Sunday is hentai day. So I'm guessing you want to stay the fuck away from the dealer's room on Sunday, because shit is gonna get wall-to-wall creepy up in there. This guy here didn't want us to film his booth. So here's his booth again. And here it is again. And again. And again. And here it is in slow motion. Now here it is in sepia tones. Now let's take a good look at his wares. Yes. Looks like the same generic shit you can get at half the other booths. I can only assume these fine gentlemen have never seen another booth before, and are laboring under the impression that they're hoarding some kind of secret. So, since they were dicks, here's their booth again! There's also a booth that's been there every year that is the go-to place for old school gamers. They have a massive selection of games from just about every system, including new Dreamcast games. Some of you may have heard of this homebrew Dreamcast revival, and if you haven't, look it up. But they got them. You can also find controllers, controller parts, peripherals, you name it. It's a beautiful booth. Also, you can find a crapload of t-shirts with really stupid, dorky, and unfunny little catchphrases on them. Every time I see these shirts, I want to punch the people wearing them in the stomach. How much of a dorky little fanboy do you have to be to find these shirts even mildly amusing, let alone cool and funny enough to wear on your person? These things are riddled with puns, fads, failed attempts at irreverent humor, and corny shit. I wouldn't be caught dead in this shit, and I pity anyone who actually goes out in public wearing this. Also, a Brental Floss shirt? Really? Why the hell would anyone actually advertise that they actively choose to listen to Brental Floss? Ugh. We better get the fuck out of here while we still have money for food. And since there's no other sights to see, it's time to say goodbye.
Well, that's about it for Otakon. They're kicking us out, and they have very large, scary men in security uniforms to do it, and I'm not going to argue with them. We had a lot of fun, we had a lot of laughs, and a lot of people's expenses. We wasted a lot of our money and listened to a song from K-On! Being sung 3 times more than we ever wanted to do. So we're about ready to go. I'm Lord Shmeckie. This is Otakon, and it is hot as balls, and I am in a leather jacket. So I'm going to get the hell out of here before I have to hear one more internet meme, or one more commercial jingle, or one more bottled water pitch repeated by groups of people. I'm going to get out of here before I can never leave Baltimore. And not for good reasons. I'll see y'all later.
I've been performing for years, still in shows like a smooth crook. So one day my man's like, dude, look, what if fans come and see you at a con they never been? So I wrote me a rule book, cause some things at concerts are totally fine, but they just don't apply to cons. So I'ma give you 10 tips to maximize fun, but you can't pick and choose, gotta follow each one. That's the most important of all the rules. Before you go, wear comfortable shoes, cause you'll be walking all day, and if your dogs bark, you'll miss out on a lot, so it pays to be smart. Number 2, and speaking of paying, bring cash, cause the ATM fees gonna make you mad. And standing in them lines is a hassle. Vendors love green, so it makes it much easier to haggle. And make sure you schedule your moves, cause more's gonna be going on than you'll have time to do. And some events are ticketed, so if you wanna go, grab one, come back, cause if you slow, you blow. Rule 4, something that might sound strange, but please do not forget to bathe. With thousands of folks cooped up in one spot, you bound to be in line with the guy that forgot. Number 5, talk to everybody, cause you just never know who's who, what's what, and what they know. And read the name badges and ask good questions, cause you could be standing next to a legend. Don't go overboard spending dough. It's a really bad feeling when it's time for you to go, when you realize you need gas and something to eat. A shoe, that one almost happened to me. Anyway, number 7, pack yourself a con kit, aspirin, hand sanitizer, and breath mints. Cause while you're being friendly, keep in mind, most guys don't wash their hands.